Nick Saban is rumored to be returning to the sidelines, and Oliver Luck is back in Morgantown. We're talking about that and much, much more on the Voice of Morgantown show. Let's go.
I'm following like Voice of Morgantown and like
Sure.
West Virginia, my name is Brad Smith, and I'm here with Joshua. Joshua, how are you tonight, buddy? It's been a minute.
Oh, dude, I'm doing great. I was rushing to get back here to the house in time to do this podcast. It's been a long time. I like to talk. Yeah, I talk a lot at work, but this week I haven't talked a whole lot, so I was rushing to get back here tonight just so I could get on this podcast and we could talk about West Virginia football, basketball, athletics, news. As I watched our intro video, right away I was excited for basketball season, and then I see Coach Rod, and then I was excited for football season, and then I was excited for basketball season, and then I was excited for rifle season. Yep. I'm just excited, man. I'm excited to talk. I know we haven't been on in a while. I know some of these other, a lot of other homers who do podcasts. I've seen them kind of flapping their gums and everything, and none of them make any sense. But my hat's off to them. So it's good to be back on the air. How are you? How's your summer going?
Love it, Joshua. Throwing some shade at the other podcasters, man. I love it. Yeah. I've been great, man. So before we get started, guys, I do want to remind you, we are giving away season tickets to West Virginia football home games this year. Robert Morris, Utah, TCU, Colorado, Texas Tech, every game except for Pitt, we are giving tickets away for. All you have to do is hit subscribe on our YouTube channel, which it is just the Voice of Morgantown. Every single game except Pitt. Guys, I mean, that's Josh, have you ever heard of such a good offer, man? All you have to do is hit subscribe and you're automatically entered.
It's a great offer. How many other podcasters are doing this? Are any other doing this? Zero. The Voice of Morgantown. You got it right here. The most criticized, but also the most informative, the most in the know publication of West Virginia athletics.
I appreciate that, man. Yes. Also, guys, we have a call and text line, a new feature. If you'd like to call and be on the show, I'm sure we would draw some trolls out, Joshua, but we can handle them. Just give us a call or text 304-315-4443. 304-315-4443. It's the number at the bottom right of the screen. We'd love to hear you guys on the show. Even those, those burner accounts on X. If you want to come on and talk trash, come on, guys. We'd love to talk to you.
Bring it.
Please bring it on. So, guys, the big news recently is that Nick Saban, former Alabama head coach, probably the best coach of all time in college football, is rumored to be returning to the sidelines. Greg McElroy, who was a quarterback under Nick Saban at Alabama, said that he heard from a very, very reliable source that Nick Saban wants to come back to coach college football again. There's anytime that these rumors pop up with Nick Saban, of course, us West Virginians think there's a chance that he will come back to West Virginia and coach the Mountaineers or be a part of our program. My question to you, Joshua, is if he was interested in returning to West Virginia, would you take him over Rich Rodriguez right now?
No. And the only reason I would not is because we have that stability back. Fingers crossed. We hope we have that stability back. Nick Saban's 73, but he's a young 73. I feel like 73 in 2025 is a lot different than 73 in 1995. Nick Saban is the greatest ever, just like you said. When McElroy came out and said this news, I know him and Saban are tight. Him and Saban are very, very tight. So when he came out and said somebody close to him told him this news, I kept thinking, was it Saban himself? And I got to thinking, I had that same question. Would we take him at West Virginia? I would say it's a hard no for me. It's not even – I don't even question it because we're building our program back. We have a coach who knew how good he had it. He's got his second chance. He's not going anywhere. He's 60? I think Rich Rod's 60.
Yep.
And Rich Rod's a young 60, so he's 13 years younger. We have that stability. We're building that foundation back. But as far as Nick Saban returning back to college football, I did some reading on this, a little bit of research. I don't think he would go to any other conference outside of the SEC for some reason. That's just me. But I was looking at the hot seats in college football right now. How about Lincoln Riley? Can you imagine Nick Saban at USC or Brent Venables in Oklahoma? I know he's getting some heat already. Can you imagine Nick Saban at Oklahoma with all that NIL money coming in? But then if you look at the SEC, you got Kalen DeBauer. I forget how you say his last name, but he was only been at Alabama 1 year. But can you imagine if he goes 9-4 again this year? And then also with this news, also where did it really start for Nick Saban? At LSU. And I know Brian Kelly could be on the hot seat. He's kind of underperformed in a lot of people's eyes. So I could see him going back to either one of those. Let's say, just to review, USC, Oklahoma, Alabama, or LSU. That's just me, though.
I think all three of those would be great spots. But how crazy is it, Joshua, that we're talking about passing on Nick Saban, the greatest of all time? But I'm in the exact same boat, man. I've been so excited about Rich Rodriguez leading our program again. I've wanted him to be our head coach really since he left back in 2007. And so, like you said, Nick Saban 73. I don't want to say that he was overrated a little bit, but he did win those national championships at Alabama and LSU. And so do I think that he would be more successful than Rich Rodriguez? Not necessarily at West Virginia. I really don't.
I'm the same. And it's all about that foundation and how long can you sustain it. I love Nick Saban. I'm one of his biggest fans. But let's say he comes here at 73 years old. How long will he have the energy to do that? I don't know. There's all these questions. For me, it's all about stability. And I feel like our football program finally has stability with Rich Rodriguez back as head coach. Rich Rod isn't going anywhere. And he's on a tear. We might have a rough first year. I know we'll get to that a little later. But he's back, man. He's on a mission. But as far as Nick Saban coming back to coaching, I don't know. I just don't see him leaving the Southeast Conference. That's just me. I don't think. I mean, me and you both live in Florida. We left West Virginia we love West Virginia, but we left it for various reasons. One of mine was better weather. I don't think Nick Saban wants to go back to the cold. Even though it's home and it's West Virginia, I think he'd probably be successful. But I don't think he would want to leave that landscape where he is right now.
Yeah, let us know in the comments what you guys think. Would you take Nick Saban back if he said, hey, I want to return to Morgantown to be the head coach of the Mountaineers? Would you take him back and fire Rich Rodriguez right now? Or do you prefer Rich Rodriguez like Joshua and I? I personally think that Rich Rodriguez is the right man for the job. If we have a chance to win a national championship, I believe it's going to be under Rich Rodriguez. Also, guys, if you could, while you're on YouTube, please hit that like button to help the algorithm. We're trying to build up that YouTube channel, and we would really appreciate it. Also, remember, if you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, all you have to do is hit subscribe. You're automatically entered in the season ticket giveaway, so we would appreciate that. Joshua, somebody that is returning to West Virginia that I'm excited about, and I haven't talked to you about it yet, is Oliver Luck. Governor Patrick Morrisey appointed Oliver Luck to the Board of Governors to return to West Virginia University. What were your initial thoughts upon learning about him coming back to Morgantown?
At first, I can't lie. I was a little salty at first.
Mm-hmm.
I know Oliver Luck. I think he really brought us into that next generation of college football. I think he helped us do that. And then he kind of bolted. I get it. But after really thinking about it and pondering on it for a couple of days afterwards, I'm happy about it. If we can get these guys back there, and if we can get them to stay, all the better for West Virginia. My question is, Oliver Luck has a lot of pull within college sports, within college football. What can he do with this new position? Who else can he bring in? There's other people out there. I'm happy about it, though. I think that it goes back to that stability thing. If we can have that good foundation within this next year at West Virginia, maybe we can have some good stability and we can have some pretty big time success.
I agree. I think a lot of people, weren't happy with Oliver Luck for the reason that I came up with is the way that he handled the Dana Holgorsen and Bill Stewart situation. He did bring in Dana Holgorsen as the head coach in waiting. We kind of felt like Bill Stewart wasn't treated with the respect that he deserved. But Oliver Luck did do a lot of big things in West Virginia. He really put us in the Big 12 conference. He instituted beer sales at Mount Puskar. He hired Randy Mazey. He got the funding for Mon County Baseball Park, where we play our baseball games at now. So he was a really pivotal figure in our sports programs. And so I personally would like to see him as involved as possible, even though he did have that misstep with the Dana Holgorsen and Bill Stewart situation.
I know there's a lot of stuff on the surface, and what you said is kind of in the Bernie just got my attention there. It's good to see him.
Bernie Mac stuck in traffic.
Yeah, what people saw was the surface. That big narrative around West Virginia football for the longest time was, why do we have to go to the Big 12? Why don't we go to the ACC? But there was some pushback there. It's almost like, for me, when I take a step back, I agree with you. He did a lot of things that people don't talk about, off the little things, the little incidentals, I call them. But I don't know, just for the sake of conversation, let's say we hold off. We don't go to the Big 12. Do you think that ACC invite would eventually have come?
I don't. I think we would have been left out in the cold, man.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. And where would we have been, 10 years later if we did that? Would we be in the AAC? We'd be playing Marshall every year in conference or the MAC. Yep. But, Oliver Luck did do a lot. He did a ton for West Virginia Athletics, and he brought us into that next generation. So I'm thankful for that. But let's see what he can do. I have high hopes. It's almost like we're getting the band back together in many cases.
That's exactly what I was thinking. We have guys in the program now that I feel like we know that they really care about West Virginia athletics. They want to see the Mountaineers win. You bring a Rich Rod and a Oliver Luck back into the program. It's just different to those two guys. They're West Virginians. They understand what it means to the people of West Virginia.
And you have one of the biggest voices now every Saturday. What high school recruit is not turning on College Game Day on Saturday mornings? And right there you have Pat McAfee, who's talking for us. He's one of our biggest. What's the word I'm looking for? He's like an ambassador for the university every Saturday in the fall. So you keep these guys, these talking heads in place in the back offices. You got Pat McAfee on TV every Saturday, plus his podcast he's on TV every day almost. And people start talking. I think the sky's the limit for West Virginia.
Yeah, speaking of Pat McAfee, I don't know if you saw this today, Joshua, but he was on the Pat McAfee show talking to Kurt Herbstreit earlier today, and he said that him and Herbstreit both said that they would like to see the backyard College Game Day take place during College Game Day. College Game Day take place during the backyard brawl, and he said as long as the Mountaineers and Pitt don't mess up and lose one of those two first games, that he thinks that it could happen. West Virginia, of course, plays Robert Morris in Ohio to open the season. Pitt plays Duquesne in Central Michigan. What do you think, man? Do we have a shot to have College Game Day come to Morgantown this year?
I do. I feel like that Ohio game already early in the season is almost like a trap game.
Big time.
I do, though, man. I got both my fingers crossed.
Yep.
I found out I have a work detail Saturday night on the 13th. Ooh. Otherwise, I would be up. I know the game's at 3:30, so I'm not going to miss the game.
Yeah.
And it's only going to be like an hour-long work detail, which is upsetting to me and disappointing because I would love to fly up to Morgantown and watch this game. But, man, that's big, big news. How can you not? Rich Rodriguez playing Pitt on 9/13 that reflected the score, back 17 years ago now almost? 18 years ago. It's been 18 years almost.
Yeah.
How could you not have that? I think there's a good chance. I think Herbstreit came out and said he's on the West Virginia bandwagon.
Yes.
You got those two forces kind of working together, man. You got Pat McAfee, you got Kirk Herbstreit. If both those teams are 2-0, game day has got to come. I'm going to say 90% chance.
There are some really big games that week. Wisconsin at Alabama, Georgia at Tennessee, Florida at LSU, and Texas A&M at Notre Dame. So 5 really big games. But is there any bigger game than that backyard brawl? I don't think so, man.
I don't either. And later in the season, I mean, game day is always at an SEC game, it seems, especially later in the season as the season kind of wears down. Give us some candy, man. At the beginning of the year, I think you're going to get a lot of attention on that game. You get a lot of ratings. You're going to make some money. This is a rabid fan base, man. West Virginia 2-0, Pitt 2-0, and the West Virginia fans are out for blood. It almost seems that way. There's already trash talking going on. You guys know I'm married into a Pitt family. I was up in Pittsburgh last month. There's a lot of talk, and it's getting pretty abrasive on both sides. Both those teams come in 2-0. It's going to be electric. Game day has to come to Morgantown.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, man. It'd be wild.
Yeah.
I do want to cover some rumors that I've heard over the last week or so. One of them is that Jake Retzlaff, who is he was the starting quarterback for BYU. He was suspended for 7 days for violating their honor code. He decided to leave the school and transfer to another school. A lot of people have said on social media recently that he is potentially coming to West Virginia. I don't want to say that was made up, but I think it was made up. I don't think that there was any real talk or any real possibility of Retzlaff coming to Morgantown. He was 11-2 at BYU last year, but guys, honestly, and we've talked about this over and over and over again, West Virginia is fine at the quarterback position. Why would we go even look at another quarterback right now? Nico Markiel is our guy. Everyone knows that. And we also have a great backup in Jalen Henderson. I can't imagine us spending any money at all on another quarterback unless he just said, hey, I'll come there for free. Maybe we would take him. But other than that, Joshua, I don't see any way that we're going out and getting another quarterback. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I'm with you. It's funny to me because when the voice of Morgantown, just so I can put that out there real quick, if this is okay. When the voice of Morgantown puts out some kind of a rumor on social media, the voice of Morgantown gets chewed up by these fans for, why are you posting rumors, blah, 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 blah. I noticed so many outlets post this week about Jake Retzlaff. Is that his last name?
Retzlaff, yeah.
Retzlaff. Mm-hmm. And I'm like you. We have Nico Markiel. Nobody's talking about Nico Markiel. It's
insulting. It's insulting.
It's insulting. Yeah. I can't imagine how he feels, his family feels. This kid, he's not even, I'm not even call him a kid. He's a man. He's a hoss. He's like, what, 6'2", 230?
Yep.
This guy, we need to be praising this guy. Waits his turn for 2 years, stays. He's working his ass off now in the offseason. Where's the praise for Nico Markiel? It's almost like, hey, what's the new quarterback that we could get at West Virginia? Maybe he could start for us. It's all talk from these people who are just not informed at all. Give Nico some praise, man. I'm sorry to go off on a tangent. I told you I'm ready to talk. So I'm with you. We're good in the quarterback room. And I think Rich Rod even came out and said if there's one position group that he feels comfortable with, it's his quarterback group. We're good in the quarterback room. I know these quarterbacks are competing day in and day out on the field, in the weight room, in the film room. These guys, they're fighting it out for that number one spot, even though I think it's going to be Nico. We're good. We don't need another quarterback. Was that just a BYU suspension, or was it an NCAA suspension?
I believe it was just a BYU because it was their honor code that he violated, which is kind of ridiculous if you really look into the details of it. But so I believe he can come in and play immediately, which he'll do well. He's an outstanding quarterback, but he's also I just don't feel like we need him, honestly, guys.
I'm the same way, and there's plenty of schools out there. He'll probably end up like at Georgia or something. He's gonna win the Heisman.
He's being pursued by everyone, pretty much. Yeah. So we're not going to outspend anybody for a quarterback at this point. I don't think we're going to invest any more money in a quarterback.
I agree. Nico, mark you all the way. And I know maybe we'll get into this in another podcast episode, but I know Nico was ranked 14th best quarterback in the Big 12. Now he's 13th. But the reason, and people would cite that, they would say, well, he's ranked this. We don't need him. He can't start with us. But that's because he hasn't played yet. There's not enough of a sample size.
And he was playing under Neil Brown, guys. Exactly. He was playing under Neil Brown.
Give him a chance. I have high hopes for Nico this year, man. I can't wait to see him bowl some people over in the first game, and then people will change their stance.
Absolutely, man. So, guys, one rumor that I have also heard that I believe to be true is that 4 players, Jimmori Robinson, Justin Harrington, Ty Edwards, Jeff Weimer, probably 4 of the players I was most excited to see this year for the Mountaineers, their eligibility is now in question. Because of these new rules that I don't think anybody really understands these rules. But after speaking to, I don't know how much I can say, but I have spoken to at least one of those players about this. One of the others kind of gave me a vague answer, but it didn't feel like it was a very good situation. It felt like it was a real possibility that we're going to lose those 4 guys. Jimmori Robinson was probably our best defensive player this year. He had 12 and a half sacks last year. On the show, we had him on the show a couple of weeks ago. We told him he needed to get 3 sacks against Pitt. He promised he was going to do that. Ty Edwards is a big 240-pound running back that would have been awesome to have. Justin Harrington is a spectacular safety. Jeff Weimer, really experienced, great wide receiver. So I think these would be big losses for us. Nothing's for sure yet, but it just did not sound promising. Your thoughts, Joshua?
When will we have a final decision or a determination on this?
Yeah, and I asked that. It didn't sound like they knew yet. It sounded like everything's up in the air. And the player I spoke to it sounded like he was he said he just feels lost right now.
Yeah, and that's disappointing. It's disappointing for the players. I got to make this about the players first because these guys want to play. These guys work their butts off. It's unfortunate for them. They want to play. The off season is a long time, man. It's a lot of hard work, and when you don't get to play, it's hard, man. It's hard on your psyche. It's just hard. Your goals and stuff are pushed back another year if they're ever met after that. But it hurts us as a team because Jimmori's a stud. I think all these guys are contributors. I was excited to watch Weimer play. I was excited to watch all of them play. Really, it gives us depth. It gives us potential starters. It gives us depth on our team, and it hurts us. We're going to have to find. The show goes on, so to speak. It's sad to say, but we're going to have to find replacements for these guys. Even though I don't think they can be replaced because these guys had a role on our team already. I mean, I saw these guys as a plug and play already, ready to contribute for this season. So it's disappointing. I'm hoping we have an answer on this soon in the next couple of weeks because, the season is coming. There's only 1 month.
7 weeks away.
Yeah, that separates the season from us from right now. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm really hoping we get a decision on this.
Kenny Evans said, any news on the transfers eligibility? I hope we answered your questions. If there's anything else you guys want to know on that, but honestly, guys, I don't think anyone knows. I don't think the players know. I don't think the coaches know at this point. And so obviously we'll let you know as soon as we know anything. We're just taking a few fan comments here. That's what I want to know too. We need Jimmori bad. Yeah, losing Jimmori Robinson that's just devastating for our defense. He's an instant impact player.
Yeah.
I saw another one I wanted to look at here. Aaron Riffle over on YouTube. Guys, thank you so much. Those of you on YouTube, please hit that like button if you haven't already and hit subscribe. I couldn't agree more about Nico, guys. True Mountaineer. I've been arguing with people for a month on social media about it. Love the article you put out on him, Brad. So I appreciate you following along and reading the articles, Aaron. I appreciate that, man. And yeah, guys, listen, Nico Marchiol, I have to me, I have a hard time swallowing the fact that he has to deal with people on social media saying that he's not fast enough. He's not. He doesn't have the downfield throwing ability. He's not the man for the job. He's too slow to run Rich Rodriguez's offense. I mean, it's just all bullshit, man. It's just ridiculous. Yeah. And it just drives me crazy that he has to, this guy who's been here for 3 years, who is really the perfect quarterback for the Rich Rodriguez offense, has to sit and listen to this nonsense. It's and not getting the respect he deserves is just infuriating, man.
And his father, I mean, look at the family he comes from. His father was an NFL football player. He has this in his blood. And I pick things apart. Maybe I pick things apart too much, but I've noticed video clips or shorts or reels or pictures of the football players working out, running, doing wind sprints. And I saw one the other day of Nico. He was somebody took a photo of him, I believe it was, but it was in a squat rack in a weight room. The dude's drenched in sweat. The first thing I noticed was his eyes. His eyes were just kind of glossy. They were red, almost like he had been running his butt off, probably that hill in the humidity, the law school hill, and then lifting weights probably right after, and then running again. He's working his butt off, and you can tell. I mean, you can just tell how hard he is working. Give him the respect that he deserves. This guy is the epitome of a true mountaineer. He comes here. He waits his turn. Now it's his turn. He could be leaving if he wanted to. I guarantee you he could have went to the Miami Hurricanes and been the starting quarterback over Carson Beck. Guarantee you. He could have went to Florida State, I bet. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what teams were pursuing him, but I know he could have went to those teams. I mean, off the top of my head, who else? Probably Oklahoma. Oklahoma would have taken over that dude from Washington State. I forget where their quarterback came from, but he's a stud. I mean, give him some respect. There's so much hate. Yeah, I keep thinking about, I think it was 2017, Brad. Do you remember the transfer that we got from Miami? Speaking of Miami, Jack Allison, was that his name?
Oh, yeah.
When he was coming to West Virginia, man, he was going to win the Heisman Trophy. He was this, and he was that. He was going to be so great. Our fans are easily sold on the new things, and they just completely forget about the ones who are there waiting their turn, and they deserve the chance.
Yeah, I couldn't have said any better, Joshua. And really, it's not even all about just the loyalty. I mean, the loyalty's big, but also he's the right guy, guys. I think people don't think he is as fast as he is. He is extremely fast. They released, I don't know if they released it or if it was just something that leaked, but they showed his how fast he runs. He almost ran as fast as Garrett Green last year, guys. Yeah. I mean, this is ridiculous. So, anyway, show Nico Marchiol respect. He will be the starting quarterback for Robert Morris against Robert Morris, no matter what these other people say on social media, no matter what they say, it will not be anyone else other than Nico Marchiol this year, and I would bet my life on that. Speaking of respect, guys, Josh, I want to ask you about this. Vegas currently has us as 5.5, the over/under at 5.5 wins. What do you think, man? Take a look at this schedule. Do you see 5.5 wins? Would you bet over or under on that?
I'm betting over. I'm going back and forth on our schedule. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I was at 6 wins. And then I looked at it again. I was at 8 wins. I definitely think we're at least 6 wins. I think it's going to be dependent on this Pitt game. I think we're going to come in at 2-0. There's going to be a lot of motivation with this Pitt game. If we can beat Pitt, come out of that game at 3-0, I think we can really go on a tear for the season. We lose to Pitt. I don't even like to say that, but we lose to Pitt. I think it's going to be a huge letdown. It could be a hangover for the rest of the season. It might be a struggle for us for the rest of the season, but just kind of looking ahead. Just looking at this schedule, I'm going to say I got Robert Morris, Ohio, Pitt, Kansas, I'm going Utah at 5. Then I think we're going to. Jake, they've lost their quarterback, so we could be 6-0, man, after BYU. No way we're losing to UCF. They're 7. TCU, they seem to have our number, especially at home. At least the games I've attended. Houston, that's a win. Colorado, that's a win. Arizona State, Texas Tech, those are toss-ups. I'm excited to see. I'm anxious to see Texas Tech's season after seeing how much money they're spending. Did you see that? They're number 2 in the country.
Yes.
$28 million or something. But I got us over 5.5. What about you?
I don't see any way that we don't win at least 5.5 games here. I'm just looking through the schedule. Yeah. I can't imagine unless we just have some kind of complete collapse. I'm going to bet all my riches on it, man. I don't know about you, but I feel like 5.5 is automatic.
Yeah, I agree. Robert Morris. I mean, look at this. I mean, it's right in front of us.
You're looking at plus 600 to win the Big 12. Plus 100,000 win the national championship. I mean, come on, man. That's worth betting a few bucks on, isn't it?
Here's the question I have. Let's say we go 5, 6, 7. Let's say we go. All right, here's the big question.
I don't know what happened there, man. Sorry about that.
This is kind of a hot take, and this is a big question for you and everybody.
Yep.
If anybody wants to type their answers out. If we want to play the what-if game real quick. Let's say we win 10 games. We just come out and shock the world. Let's say Nico just misses an invitation to go to New York for the Heisman Trophy presentation, okay?
Yep.
Does Nico come back next year? Do our key players who are going to be eligible for the draft, do they come back next year? My main question is Nico. Does Nico come back next year and try to run it back?
I believe Nico would be back. I would be concerned about Jaheim White leaving. I think Jaheim White has major NFL potential, especially the work he's put in this offseason. He just looks different. He looks big and he looks ready to dominate. So I would be concerned most about losing Jaheim White.
Dude, I could see Nico coming back and having a tear for the second year. If he did that, I mean, I'm talking out of my butt maybe right now, but it's the summertime. We're just playing the what if game. But let's just say West Virginia that we win 10 games this year. Let's say Texas Tech has an even better year. They beat us out. We get screwed out of the college football playoff because that's something that would happen in West Virginia.
Yeah.
We don't get an at-large. We miss out. Nico comes back, tears it up next year. Let's say we go to the college football playoff and lose in the second round. But Nico has a great year. Dude, he would go down in West Virginia lore. You know what I mean? He would be the man. I think this guy's got such talent. He's got such potential. So I would love to see that. I would love to see it, man. We've done a statue. Built like a statue of him. Have you been to the Swamp, Gainesville?
I have, man. I've been there and to Florida State's stadium. They were pretty nice, man. Nothing like Mountaineer State.
I agree with that. But you're walking. I forget what end it is at the Swamp in Gainesville. But you have those 3 statues. You have Danny Warfel, Steve Spurrier, and Tim Tebow.
Yeah,
we could start that with Nico. We get Pat White.
Yes.
Major Harris. Get all that. Just to start it, man. But
yeah.
A
couple of comments here. This one, I mean, come on. I love the trolls, man. Leak the Epstein list. Brad's on it. Come on. If anybody's on it, it's Joshua, not me. I'm not on that.
Hey, speaking of speed, how about this guy who is running a 4.340 and he just committed to Sir Paul Cheeks out of Richmond, Virginia.
Sir Paul Cheeks, Jesus in cleats, 4.340. I feel like Rich Rod is really loading up with running backs. It kind of anticipating the fact that we may lose Jaheim White next year. We've got really a deep group of young running backs. Sincere Bowers, Dior Hubbard, Christopher Talley, Cannon Katzer. We've got a ton of them. And I think that Rich Rod knows he may lose Jaheim White soon, so he's got to load up.
Yeah, Sir Paul Cheeks, he's 3-star running back out of Richmond, Virginia. He had offers from Kentucky, Minnesota, Pitt, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, and I think 18 other schools. He's 5'9", 185. That's a pretty good size for a guy who's running 4.3 40 and going into his senior year in high school. 5'9",
he's a freak.
185. He could gain a little bit more weight, put a little bit more muscle on him. He could be a bruiser and a speedster. This is a guy that would definitely flourish in a Rich Rodriguez offense. I'm excited for him. We have to keep on his recruitment, though, because people are they're going to try to pluck him out from us because early signing is not until December. December's forever away. But we got to keep recruiting him and keep him on our side. I'm excited for him, though, Brad. I mean, the dude's a speedster. Have you watched film on him yet?
I did, man. It was crazy.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. And several of these players, Christopher Talley, all of these running backs that we've gotten in the last month or two, they're just different level. That Sincere Bowers is, I don't know if you saw, man, but he's the fastest player on the team right now as a freshman. Yeah.
I'm convinced, though, if Frank Beamer was still at Virginia Tech, Sir Paul Cheeks would be at Virginia Tech. There's something going on at Virginia Tech, and I like it.
Yeah,
they can't recruit those in-state players like they used to. Those fall through the crack 2-star, 3-star players that Beamer used to get, and they would turn into this stuff. They're going elsewhere, so I'm hoping we can hold on to this recruit.
Absolutely. So Joshua, one thing that I wanted to talk to you about, we posted this a few weeks ago, and I wanted to get your opinion on this. Listen, I did the Mount Rushmore of West Virginia sports. I put Bob Huggins, Pat White, Jerry West. Can we agree that those three at least belong on the Mount Rushmore, or is there anybody you would take off first of all, Joshua?
I'm not a big Bobby Huggins fan here lately. I don't know if you guys know that or not.
But does he belong on Mount Rushmore? Is he one of the four?
He could be. But Jerry West and Pat White definitely deserve to be on the Mount Rushmore. I saw people on social media talk about how Pat White shouldn't be on there, blah, 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 blah. How soon they forget everything that he did for us, those 4 bowl wins. I mean, he was such an awesome player to watch. So I agree on Jerry, West, and Pat. I don't know. When you were talking about this several weeks ago, I had a list, and I still have the list on my notepad. One of my notepads around here somewhere, but I cannot decide my 4. I mean, I do have West and White on there. I like Sam Huff on there.
Okay.
I wanted to put Don Nealon on there too, but you got Bobby Huggins. It's a tough call.
My point with why I didn't put Don Nealon is because I'm not sure that would you consider him the best football coach in the history of West Virginia University? I think it's Rich Rodriguez. I know that maybe. What do you think? That's why I didn't put Don Nealon.
I mean, I agree with you on that because Nealon had the tenure.
Mm-hmm.
He had that longevity.
Yep.
And it was so nice to see him around Morgantown at like Pizza Hut or Walmart at a random place.
Yeah.
But I have to agree with you on that because Rich Rodriguez had that intensity, that electricity that he would bring or that he brought to West Virginia football. Yeah, I think I would have to agree with you on that. Bobby Huggins would have to go over Don Nealon on the Mount Rushmore.
So who would be the 4th person? Who would you put?
Man, the 4th person.
And in the comments, guys, please let us know who you would put as the 4th person. I think a lot of people, when we put this up, said Major Harris. Again, Major Harris is great, but is he the best quarterback in the history of West Virginia sports? I don't think so. I think Pat White is.
Yeah. I'm trying to think here. Who did I have on that? He's not on the Mount Rushmore, but one of my favorite athletes at West Virginia, one of my favorite guys to watch was James Jett.
Mm-hmm.
James Jett went to the Olympics, won the gold medal, but I can't put him on the Mount Rushmore. It's tough. It's really tough. And speaking of tough,
Yeah, so thanks for another second, Joshua. But I kind of put one, maybe a controversial pick as my fourth. I went with Pat McAfee, and the reason is he's the all-time leading scorer in the history of West Virginia football. What he's done since, also for the program, I think he's one of the four most important people in the history of West Virginia athletics. Am I crazy?
No, I mean, a lot of people are probably going to look down on that comment just because of his age. I feel like when you get to a certain age, in your 60s perhaps, I feel that gives you that longevity. People will like that longevity. But I agree with that. I think he could definitely be on that list because what did I say earlier? He's a great ambassador for West Virginia. Look what he's done since. He's continuously putting us in the spotlight. So it's hard to disagree with you on that.
Kenny Evans over on YouTube said, take off Hugs, put Rich Rod and Tavon. I know a lot of people have some bad feelings towards Bob Huggins right now, me included. I just can't take him off as one of the four most important people in the history of West Virginia athletics. I just can't do it. I just think he is one of the probably most important person in the history of the basketball program, right behind Jerry West.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think you're right because after the wounds kind of heal here in the next couple of years, people are going to change their tune on Bobby Huggins, me included. And you're talking me into it. I think those three, I can't disagree with those three.
Somebody put Jersey Ear over on YouTube, said Tavon Austin. Again, great player, top four in the history of West Virginia sports. I don't see it. Justin Quinn over on YouTube said Jeff Hostetler. Again, fantastic quarterback. But if you're going to put another quarterback on, you got to put Major Harris, right? Or Geno Smith even.
Yeah. I like Hostetler. I like Daryl Talley. How about this? Nico Marchiol.
Nico Marchiol. There you go, man. That's on ours. That's on our Mount Rushmore. Daryl Talley, Paul Woodside, again, great players. I can't put either one of those in our top four. Big Dan T over on YouTube. Thanks for joining us, guys, on YouTube. Please, guys, right now, hit hit subscribe if you haven't already to our YouTube channel. You can't do a Rushmore for everything. You must have one for football and then one for basketball, I think is what he's saying here. I don't know, man. I did it for West Virginia Athletics. We could do a separate one for football and one for basketball. It is tough to pick that fourth one, though. Bruce Irvin, I'm not going to go with Bruce Irvin in top four either. He only played, what did he play, 2 years for the Mountaineers? I don't think he did enough to be top four.
Yeah, you got to. I mean, I think we really have to dig for that. Let's do a little bit more digging and research. I mean, you know who I loved, Sam Huff, but would he make that Mount Rushmore for all time?
Sam Huff, I think you have a good argument for. I think Sam Huff is probably a lot of people would choose him as our fourth. He may even be more deserving than Pat McAfee, right? I mean, based on what he's done. So, yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to come back to this one.
Yep. Justin Quinn added, you got to put Pat with everything he is doing. He's talking about Pat McAfee. I think a lot of people at first, when we say Pat McAfee, they probably roll their eyes a little bit. But when you think about it, all-time leading scorer at West Virginia University, guys, and everything he's done since then, I think he's got to be up there. Luke Bart over on YouTube said, have you talked about he's talking about Jimmori Robinson news yet? I'm hoping good news. We did talk about Jimmori Robinson. What I said, just as a reminder, Luke, is, I talked to two of the players, and one of them didn't give me a whole lot, but it didn't sound positive, and the other one just flat out sounded negative. So it didn't sound like it was positive news for Jimmori Robinson, Ty Edwards, Jeff Weimer, and who's the fourth? I'm sorry, the safety. Justin Harrington. I'm sorry, Justin Harrington. Yeah, so those four players, it doesn't look great for them playing this year, which is just an incredible disappointment. Jacob Yoho. What about Miles McBride, man? Miles McBride, top four? I don't think so, guys. I think I put Bob Carter ahead of him.
What about Steve Berger?
Steve Berger. I don't think so. Kevin Pittsnoggle, top four. I mean, just throwing some names out.
Hey, hang on. Maybe if he wins another championship or 2 or 3, you could put Joe Mazzulla up there at some point.
Joe Mazzulla. But again, based on what he did at West Virginia, I'm not sure he was. Yeah. So, guys, we've been on here for 50 minutes, man. We have over 1,000 people watching us right now, Joshua. Anything else you want to say before we bounce, man?
Yeah, I know we'll talk about this maybe the next episode, but I wanted to highlight. I can't pronounce his name. The first Japanese-born player.
Oh yeah,
on at West Virginia basketball. Is it? No, I don't want to butcher the name.
Yeah, and Nihal, I was pronouncing it Nihal Hyatt. That's probably totally butchered, but yeah, he is. I believe our first Japanese player that we've ever had at West Virginia University. He played at Weber State last year. I don't know, man, if you watched his tape or not, but this dude is 6'4", and he can get to the basket and he can shoot. He's a walk-on, but I think this is a project player who we could actually see contributing in a couple years.
Yeah, that, and I'm thinking maybe even longer term. It does. It's awesome for West Virginia as far as like having international players. Maybe this is the start of something. I mean, basketball is international now. It's not just in America. So there's a lot of talented basketball players in Japan and China and all throughout Europe. Hopefully this will be the start of something new. I know we'll talk about it closer to basketball season and maybe have some new news on that. I have a question for you though, Brad. Any news? I've been so out of pocket when it comes to sports here in the last few weeks. Any news on the Oklahoma athletic director? Did they hire a new one? Is there anything going on with that?
It has been crickets, man, for the last weeks. So I have heard nothing about that. Ren Baker, it seems like, has been a lot more active on social media recently and putting it out there that he's here. He wants to be visible. I just personally believe that if Oklahoma offers him the job, I think it would be very, very challenging for him to turn it down. That's his home state. That's his wife's home state. It's a better job. I hate to say it, guys, but a better job, much better financial situation. And so I can't imagine him turning that job down if he's offered. Yeah,
it would be tough to lose him because he's really propelling us forward to new heights within West Virginia athletics. Listen, I missed the podcast. I missed everybody. I missed Brad. I missed Bernie. I miss all the people watching, all the people's comments and everything. It's good to see everybody. I know our shows during the summer are not as they're a little bit more spread out because there's really no news. But I'm looking forward to the football season, man. I'm looking forward to watching the games. I'm looking forward to getting more views. So spread the word. We appreciate everybody and all your comments. So we'll see you next time, hopefully. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button on YouTube. We really appreciate that. Again, if you hit subscribe on YouTube, guys, you are automatically entered to win season tickets to see the Mountaineers every game except Pitt. You will get all five games, 2 tickets. 5 to these 5 games. All you have to do is hit subscribe and you're automatically entered. Right now, I believe we have 2,600 people following our YouTube channel. We just got started. So you have good odds of pretty decent odds, at least, of scoring these tickets. We also will be giving the Pitt game individually away later. Guys, we really appreciate you joining the show tonight. Over 1,000 people here with us tonight. Guys, thank you so much. Let's go Mountaineers. Have an awesome night.
I'm following voice of Morgantown and
sure.